With Chapter 5 Season 2 coming out, ranks have officially reset again, but don't worry because in this video we're going to be talking about everything you need to know to rank up super fast in Chapter 5 Season 2. So this season, Epic has made it a little bit harder to rank up, and if you did know, Bush Camp Dad would always leave his games before taking damage because it actually helps you boost your rank. Well, you can no longer do that strategy because Fortnite has actually removed the boost that happens when you leave a game without taking damage. In this video, we're going to cover all the best strategy and gameplay tips that you guys need to rank up. Before we get into it though, I need you guys to hit that subscribe button because if you guys are brand new, you guys are going to find a lot of helpful tips on this channel, and I'm happy to help you guys rank up. Alright, for tip number 1, I'm going to be sharing you guys the best game modes to use to actually rank up. So early on in Bronze through Plat, I actually don't think the game mode matters too much. It might matter a little bit in Plat if you're not too experienced with the game, but the best modes by far are duos and squads because they help you rank up a lot more than solos. Now sure, solos will help you if you can get 10 to 15 kills in that mode, but the majority of solo players are not actually experienced enough to be able to win games like that with that amount of kills on a consistent basis. Winning in solos is very tough, and it almost seems like the players are even worse in duos and squads, which makes it easier to rank up, get eliminations, and finally rank up. Now duos and squads are kind of easy to rank up, but right in the middle, if you have trios is actually super easy because you go up more for kills and more for placement in those games. And the benefit to trios is the party leader for another team might be in your rank, but his players that he's playing with could actually be even worse. So where you come in is you need to find a squad that is all on the same level as you, or a trio that's all on the same level as you, and if you guys can do that, you guys are going to have no problem ranking up. Now if you don't actually have teammates as good as you, you can always go to a Discord and just ask for somebody to play ranked with your same rank. Doing this allows you guys to have a consistent team that's able to go out and play every single game out and actually win games. There's a reason why when you go to look up Unreal ranked speedrun videos, you will actually find out that most people grind up with trios or squads because that is how you get the most eliminations and the easiest placement points the whole time. So a quick recap for that is you guys basically want to play trios or squads for the fastest possible rank up. So next up, I'm going to be talking about the type of player you are and how to take early game fights and how to play early game. So early game, your landing spot is extremely important, and if you are a passive player or a calm player, you guys probably don't want to land at named POIs. If you guys are a passive player, you guys are going to want to land on the outside of the map, and you just want to take your time to loot up and get set for the rest of the game. And early game is actually a lot more important than you guys think, because if you guys happen to die more than once off spawn, your percentage is going to continually go down worse and worse. So you want to make sure you have a landing spot where you will not die off spawn, because that can really hurt you if it happens multiple times. And also, you don't want to choose a spot where you're dying off spawn a lot, because Fortnite can be very tilting these days, and if you start tilting, your chances of doing worse just go up and up and up. And the disadvantage of tilting is that you actually start playing dumber and dumber, and you're not making the smartest decisions because you're just wanting to win fights. Now onto the aggressive players for early game. If you guys are an aggressive player, you guys definitely want to land at named locations. Now the biggest point of actually being an aggressive player is you guys need to know your drop spot if you are going to land at a spot that is very contested. If you guys are landing at the underworld, you want to pick a spot that you're going to land at every single game, because you guys do not want to go in there just landing at a random spot not knowing the POI. And not knowing the POI will also lead to you tilting and dying off spawn more and more in games. Now the recap for early game is you guys want to pick the drop spot, and you guys want to make sure you know that drop spot very well. Now for the mid game, for you passive players, all you guys are going to want to do is open up your map. You're going to check for the dead side of zone, and if you don't know what the dead side of zone is, that is going to be the spot on the map that nobody's going to be rotating to. So in the case of this example, you can see the dead side of the zone is on the outside of the map, and nobody's going to be rotating there because there's just no major POIs around it. And while rotating dead side, you guys can rotate as far and wide as you want. You can even take some storm damage just to make sure you are not getting into fights you don't want to get into. Now I'm sorry for you passive players, but the aggressive players, it is quite actually the opposite. You guys want to rotate into zone, and you guys actually want to be looking for dead side because that is where you can find players that do not want to fight. If you're an aggressive player and you just start checking the outside of the map, I promise it is so much easier to find players that don't actually know what they're doing, and you can easily get some free kills. Catching people rotating is the easiest way to get kills in this game, and especially if you're doing it the right way, you'll find the players that don't want to fight. Now in the Bronze through Plat ranks, regardless of if you guys think you are a passive player or an aggressive player, I think it is a great idea to land at named POIs. Now the reason I say to land at popular POIs in Bronze through Plat is even if you die in Plat, you don't go down too much percent, and if you get a kill, you go up a lot percent. And I think the cost of landing a major POI is actually really good because you guys will actually go up no matter what. You lose, then you get back in the game and get a kill and you will just go straight back up. Now once you get to diamond, that's where the passive tips really come into play, because diamond you can then be filled with diamond through Unreal players. Now if you happen to kill an Unreal player, you're actually going to go up a lot more than if you just kill a diamond player that's already in your rank, but that's actually extremely tough to do considering you guys are in diamond and they are in Unreal already. Now here's something I do want to tell you guys about the new items in the game, the Zeus Thunderbolt and the Wings. Now I think the latest rank that you should be using the Zeus Thunderbolt or the Wings is probably going to be Platinum rank. The reason for this is the risk of using these items is extremely tough and can be detrimental to your rank. For example, if you guys are using the Wings in a higher ranked lobby like diamond or above, any player that knows how to aim a decent amount is going to beam you out of the sky, and it is just not good. And the same goes with the Zeus Thunderbolt. Players are actually getting way smarter now, and if you use that, they know to just take the first hit and they will beam you out of the sky. Now I think Plat, it is okay to use it because players aren't usually that good enough to actually beam you out of the sky with Wings or know to kill you with the Zeus Thunderbolt. But once you get to diamond, you are then filled with all the higher ranks, so it is not smart to use either of those. I would say the only reason you could use the Zeus Thunderbolt if you are on height in an endgame, and even then it can become a massive risk. Now the next tip I have for you guys is these underground bunkers this season are extremely overpowered, and let me tell you why. The underground bunkers have mod benches, and if you didn't know, there are certain weapons this season that turn completely overpowered with the use of mod benches. So just to start, we have the new Gatekeeper shotgun. If you guys can get into an underground bunker with a mod bench, that Gatekeeper shotgun can be the most overpowered weapon in your inventory. Now if you guys didn't know, the Gatekeeper shotgun has a 3-shot mag, and that is basically what most people don't use it for. Now if you guys can get to a mod bench and you can get this shotgun to a drum mag, that gun actually becomes similar to the OG tac shotgun, which would actually be dominant in this meta, and if you guys get that to 5 shots, that is going to be the best shotgun in the game. Now you may be thinking, why don't I just get an auto shotgun? But the reason for this shotgun is it does a lot more damage, and up close you guys can spam it just as fast. And of course you can get a ton of gold and 3 mythic chests at the underground bunkers. Now I just wanted to give a quick recap of the medallions you should be going for if you are playing ranked. I'm going to rank these medallions from worst to best, and basically what I'm going to be doing is showing you guys what you should go for and what you shouldn't go for. So the worst medallion is going to be at Brawler's Battlegrounds, as that one gives you more damage to longer range weapons. But if you guys think about it, say you have a gray long range weapon, that basically just turns into a green weapon. It's not really the best thing, especially since by the end of the game you're going to have good loot. Up for the number 2 worst medallion, I would say, is the Zeus medallion, because obviously if you guys are running fast and jumping, I don't know about you, but it actually messes up my gameplay and makes it harder for me to maneuver around the map, especially in build fights. At number 3, the second best medallion is going to be the Siphon medallion at the Underworld. The Siphon medallion is extremely good, but I do not think it comes close to number 1, the Hades medallion. This one gives you the movement dashes every 5 seconds, and that helps an extreme amount, especially with the movement this season. If the zone was to pull away from the Underworld and there is no green water to get those dashes, you now have the most overpowered movement in the game and nobody else can get it. So if you guys are going to target a medallion player, make sure they came from the Underworld, because the other ones are just not really worth it to have. Now a massive tip I want to give to you guys is you do not have to be super aggressive to actually win fights or win games. Now if you have a teammate, you might want to share this video with them, but if you have a teammate that just tags somebody and they have to go fight that player, that is not always the correct play. If you snipe at a player and they build a 5-star hotel, then you might not want to attack that player, especially if you know you are not that good. Now I'm not saying it's bad to push players, but you kind of want to gauge your skill and their skill and know if you're able to win that fight and if you should disengage. Especially in the Diamond through Unreal lobbies, if you guys are trying to fight players every game and losing, there is probably a reason you're losing, because you're fighting Unreal players and it's just not the smartest way to go. So if you know you're not an Unreal caliber player, you're probably going to want to play passive, rotate to the dead sides of zone, and you guys are going to be able to make Unreal just fine as long as you guys play it smart and you're not taking dumb fights. Now guys, to one of my last steps, you guys also want a VOD review every time you die. If you just go into replay mode, take 30 seconds and just find out what you did wrong and how you died, it actually helps a ton and improves your game sense to the max. Now I would say a good goal for most people is try to win your games with at least 5 to 6 kills, because 5 to 6 kills really brings you up compared to 1 or 2 kills. Alright, that is going to be the end of the video for you guys. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe and turn the post notification bell on so you guys do not miss another video that I post. Also, I really want to reach 100,000 subscribers, so it would help a ton, and if you did make it this far, comment 100k. I love you guys. Peace.